Welcome. This is 1,000 hours of watch time, 1,000 seconds of core yoga flow. So this is a celebration because of people like you have watched this little fledgling baby channel for 1,000 hours, which is almost 42 24-hour days. So that's really exciting. So cheers to you. Thank you. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit subscribe and like, comment below anything that you want me to do a video on, and let's go celebrate. So 1,000 seconds is roughly 16.6 minutes. So just over 16 and a half minutes of a core flow. I know we're all gonna feel better after this. Thanks again. Come join me on your mat. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's start the timer and let's just start to move a little side to side, waking up the torso. So we're not doing a ton of warm up. So if you want to do a little more warm up before you get into it, feel free. And then we're just going to start to circle, kind of churn up what's going on through the core and other direction. And when we think about core today, not just surface, but like a whole canister from the bottom to the top, sides, all around. What am I doing? I don't know, it's still core. Come into your first plank pose. If knees down plank is better for you today, take knees down plank. You can always make changes. Breathing here in your plank pose, and then option to draw a circle underneath you with your right knee. You can go fast or slow, but don't go too fast and don't bob the hips kind of up and down. Breathing here the whole time. That's the support underneath the work. If you haven't rotated the other direction, do that. And let's go ahead and take this into a three-limb dog, reaching that leg out and back, only hip height. Get a stretch, inhale. Exhale, lower down and come into plank. Left knee draws in and draw a circle. Again, not too fast, keeping nice and stable at that lumbar. Rooting into the fingertips gently to help wake up the muscles around the wrists and rotate in the opposite direction. I had a plank challenge with my son, my 12-year-old the other day, and oh my gosh, we held over 15 minutes and then we finally just had to go to bed. All right, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, big sigh out. It's so nice when your 12-year-old gives you a run for your money. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. You can bend your knees any amount. Inhale, come all the way to stand. And then Samastitihi, hands to the heart. Step your right toes back. Reach your arms forward. Grab a little air. Inhale is here. Exhale, right knee comes up, elbows draw back. Inhale, reach and step back. Exhale, draw in. So there's a balance element. And when we think about the core, so the hips are an intimate part of the core. So working a lot that standing leg. As you step back, do bend that front knee. And working the breath and the balance. Two more. Last one. Hold. Stay here or bring your hands to your waist or your heart and possibly extend that front leg. Maybe it's down here, okay? Breathing. And that front leg is now going to become the back leg of a high lunge. So use your arms to counterbalance the weight of the right leg coming back. Open here. Here's where we're getting into the back of the core. Roll the shoulder blades back, lift the heart, wake up the paraspinal muscles and the glutes. Breathing. If you want to do something different with your arms, do something different with your arms. This is a celebration, and always ignore me if you want to do something else. Inhale, reach up. As long as it's safe. Exhale, hands come down. Step back into your plank, either child's pose or any variation of your vinyasa that you prefer today. Core derived all the way through that transition from your back bend to downward dog. Deep breathing. Look towards the front of the mat. You can step or hop your feet there. Ardha Uttanasana, rise halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way to stand. And bring your hands together to your heart. Soften it out a little bit. And then we'll get ready for our other side. Step the left toes back. Little lean forward. You're not collapsed at the lumbar. Nice straight line. Inhale is here. Exhale, come up. Inhale for the reach and step back. Exhale, standing balance. Stay with it. Find a focal point on the ground that helps you balance. And remember to bend that front knee a lot as you reach the back leg back. If you want to make this easier, step closer, then further away. 3, 2 more. Last one. Hold it up here, hands to the waist or the heart. Any amount of extension of that leg, or keep the knee bent, or maybe the leg's down here. Then bend that knee, step that leg back. That creates the back leg of your high lunge. High lunge. Roll your shoulders back, lift the heart from the back arch. Lengthen up through the front of that left hip, through the sternum, and breathe with full lungs. Waking up that back body. Neutralize that work. Go ahead and bring the hands down. Step into your plank pose. And from here, you can do this on the knees or on the toes. Forearms down, hands down. So if you want to fold your mat over by one to help with the elbows, feel free, or you can use a blanket, not too squishy. And you're leading with one hand and then the other. So I'd right forearm, then left, right hand, then left hand, then right, left and right. Just one more through each side. And if you folded your mat, unfurl it, downward dog. Let's soften the neck. So this is a core flow. It's a challenging flow, but we need to find some space to release in between. So reach the hips up and back, bend the knees any amount, sway the hips slowly side to side, open that side body. You can, again, go wider with the feet. You can change it, do what feels right. And then take your feet to your regular distance away for your vinyasa choice. Take your time as you move through that vinyasa. Pay attention to the transitions in that vinyasa, not just the arrival and the postures. Look towards your hands. Walk your thumbs towards each other so they're touching or close. Draw the core musculature up and back in that front. Lift your heels, lift your hips, and take your shoulders more over the wrists. And then because your legs are connected, it'll be easier to take your right foot towards the outside of your right hand. And then take that back. Let's do that again, but on the left side. Heels up, hips up, shoulders forward, stepping. So you'll start to feel the obliques really come into play. Right foot steps back. Left foot steps back. If you're on all fours, right knee, then left knee, okay? So you can always modify these, and you should, depending on how you feel, make changes. We have 9 minutes and 20 seconds left. If you are feeling like you have a lot of energy today and hopping doesn't bother your joints, then you're gonna use a little more spring action of taking the hips up and back and hop towards the outer feet. Doesn't have to come very close, okay? Hopping back and forward. As you hop back, notice I'm not hopping to downward dog or plank. I'm hopping to a very bent knee squat almost position with the arms forward. Whole lot of core work here, and we're using fast twitch muscle fibers. We don't always use those in yoga. You should check out some of my yoga hit fusions if you're into this. Whole lot of great work. Malasana. If you're at the front of your mat or the back of your mat, doesn't matter. Toes and knees point in the same direction, whatever feels great for your hips. You can be sitting on a block. Hands to the heart, breathing here. Now let the belly relax a little bit. It's been doing a lot of work. And you have an option to do a vinyasa or a crow. You could do crow or crane. Make an X shape at the top of the knees, right where the shin kind of meets the kneecap. Hands are not the kneecap, but right at the lower part of the knee joint. Fingers are spread wide, hands are a little bit wider than shoulder distance apart. Lift your hips, lift your heels, transfer your weight forward, 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 and then draw the core musculature back, hug the heels in towards the sitting bones. Maybe straighten the arms, not necessary. Breathing here, working that core. 3, 2, 1. Back to your malasana. If that didn't go well, don't worry about it. Walk the hands back. Take the feet forward here. Lift up the hips. Let's open where we just condensed quite a lot, and we'll go back into this posterior chain. The back of that core. Press into the hands to open the shoulders a little bit more. Breathing here. Now wake up your inner thighs gently towards one another, not touching, but sort of magnetized in that direction. Breathing. And then option here to walk the left foot a little further in, bend the right knee up, extend the right leg if you want, like when we were in our standing balance. Bend and down. Right foot over to the left a little bit more. Left knee in, left leg extends. You don't have to do this. Bend, down. All right, now we're gonna find that funny transition again. Set your feet up for your malasana, walk your fingertips in, come back into malasana. Then you can step or hop back through a vinyasa of your choice. Back into that downward dog positioning. Look towards the top of the mat. If you want to use a hop or a step, maybe that hop from earlier, frog hop. Inhale, rise halfway up, feet underneath the hips. Exhale for your fold. We're gonna move into a chair pose now. And I'm gonna go ahead and face you on this one. You can take the arms to wherever that feels good for your chair pose. And then from here, in fact, I'm gonna illustrate something a little more. Let's take our arms forward and push our palms down into invisible hands. Press your palms down. Did you feel something wake up in the core? Don't answer that, I can't hear you, but answer it to yourself. Press your hands down actively, isometrically, and see if that core woke up. Okay, now you can stay here or transition your weight over into the left foot and let the right hand and left knee touch, press into one another, and come back down to where you started. Shift your weight over to the right, press the hand and the knee into each other. Left hand, left knee. One more time each side. With that balance, core work. When you're in a balance, the core has to stabilize you differently. And back into the chair, pressing the hands down, and then pressing the left hand into the left knee. And back. All right, now hop up and touch your, no, I'm kidding. Inhale, reach up. Levitate, exhale, shoulder rolls a few times. We are at 5 minutes and 2 seconds. Come on up to the top of your mat. Find your breath, that's number one. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise halfway, and then you know you get to choose vinyasas or not. And then we're gonna come onto the belly after this one and change some things up. Downward dog, if you're coming into that, or child's pose. And then however you wanna transition to the mat is up to you. If you wanna use a little bit more core and upper body, rock your heels forward, and you can lower the knees at any time. And slowly lower through that transition. Shoulder blades on the back. Whenever you get here, however you got here, hands alongside of the chest, shoulder blades roll onto the back. You're not jutting your chin forward, okay? Because that can take the core out of support, that front core. So keep your gaze kind of down, and then just think of lifting the neck and the head as the chest lifts. So they're kind of lifting as one unit, working, again, the posterior chain part of the core. Inhale up. Exhale down. Either stay here for a break or tuck your toes under, press into the floor, draw your core musculature back, press to all fours. Lower slowly down. As you're ready on an inhale, cobra, breathe. Working the triceps too. Exhale, come down. Stay here for a rest or tuck your toes under, press into the knees, press to all fours. Lowering down. Set it up for your cobra. Cobra here, working that posterior chain. And then as we press up, we're working more anterior chain, front of the body. Inhale, exhale down. Now you can either press to all fours with the knees down, or this time, walk the toes closer in. Create some slack in that. It's like you're trying to get yourself shorter, like an accordion. Wake up the thighs, press down into the hands, core back, press all the way to plank. Breathing here. We'll all join in plank or all fours, and then we'll touch right knee to right elbow, right knee to left elbow, and back. And if they don't touch, it's okay. Left knee towards left elbow, towards right, and back. Right knee towards right, then left, and back. Left knee towards left, and right, and back. Downward facing dog. And then option here to do some hops. So this might not seem like you're working the core, but as you come up, can you draw that core musculature back just a little bit more? I'm not asking you to go into a handstand here. It's just more fast twitch muscle fibers and some core and upper body. It's really everything. And you can do this as a march or as a lift and lower without actually taking the feet off the ground. 3, 2, 1. Malasana. Let the belly go. Soften the hips. Breathing here. If you need to choose a different posture than Malasana, choose a different posture. We'll come back down onto the belly using the similar transition as before or another one that works for you. Slowly lower down. Forearms come down. You're in a Sphinx pose. Take the feet as far apart, take the dog hair off you, as far apart as you like. And we're gonna press the hands down actively until you start to feel a lift of the low belly off the floor. Drape the tailbone down a little bit and then start to look underneath you towards your knees as you lift the pelvis more and more and more. Big time core. We're waking up even right above the pubic bone. And then really slowly, we want to unfurl that and go back into the posterior chain, back. One more time, press down into the hands. Let that action be what helps lead you into lifting the pelvis, core musculature back, and drawing your gaze towards the knees, rounding the spine a little bit here. And then very slowly, with control, 38 seconds, guys, come all the way up, open. And then from here, interlace the fingers, either come to knees or full forearm plank. And then you can choose if you want to move, if you want to lift up a leg, the other leg, if you want to take the knees out to the side or cross under the midline. We're going out with the bang. If you want to add some little hops, the knees have to bend. If that bothers your low back, please don't hop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. What's that sweet sound? Ah, yes. So, apparently I don't know how to stop that. Thank you so much. I highly recommend that after that really intense a little over 16 and a half minute, 1,000 second core yoga flow, that you do some cool down, do some stretching, things that make you feel better and a little bit more balanced. And I just want to say thank you again. I kind of didn't know, I didn't think I would ever be making a 1,000 watch hours. I didn't know anyone would watch 1,000 watch hours or 1,000 hours of my videos. But I really appreciate you. It takes a village. So thank you so much. Please do share. All of these videos are free, so if you can trade me a share, a subscribe, a like, a comment for the free content, I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope to see you soon.